You're listening to the 1% Fitness Podcast, the show built around one simple idea: no extremes, no crash diets, just small daily wins that compound into something special, just 1% better every single day. Here's your host, Ben Booth.
Right then, welcome to the very first episode of the 1% Fitness Podcast. I'm Ben, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. Glad you found us. I promise I'll make this worth your time. Now, fair warning before we get into it. I'm not going to talk to you like you're an idiot. I'm not going to throw a load of complicated science at you either. I'm just going to tell you the truth, in plain English, from someone who spent years working with real people, with real lives, who are genuinely trying to sort out their health. And speaking of real people, I want to start this episode with a message I got last week. Now, I say a message. Honestly, I could probably read out this exact same message every single week from a different person, and you'd never notice the difference. That's how common this is. It went something like this. Ben, I genuinely don't get it. I've had a really good week. I've trained. I've been eating well. I've done my steps every day. And I've just got on the scales and it's gone up. What the f***'s going on? Excuse the terrible accent. You could feel the frustration through the screen, couldn't you? And I completely get it. Because in that person's head, they've done everything right. They've put the work in. They deserve to see the result. And instead, the scales have given them a slap in the face. If that sounds familiar, if you've ever been in that exact position, then this episode is for you. Because I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, why it feels like you're doing everything right but nothing's changing, and what you can actually do about it. No waffle, no faff. Let's get into it. So, that phrase, I'm doing everything right, I want to gently challenge that. Not be harsh, not to have a go, but because I think when most people say that, what they actually mean is, I'm doing better than I usually do. And those are two very different things. Think about it like this. Let's say you normally eat like absolute chaos, takeaways, big portions, barely any movement. And then this week, you cooked 3 meals at home, went to the gym twice, and walked more than usual. That is better. I'm not dismissing that. That's a genuinely good week. But better doesn't automatically mean in a calorie deficit. And here's the bit that trips everyone up. If you're not in a calorie deficit, meaning you're not consistently eating fewer calories than your body burns, fat loss doesn't happen. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's not whether you tried. It's not about whether your food was clean or healthy. It's purely about whether you created that deficit consistently enough over time. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Ben, I barely eat anything. And I hear that, I really do. But here's the thing, and I say this with absolute love. Almost nobody is as accurate about how much they eat as they think they are, including me, by the way. I've tracked my food and gone, oh, right, that's where it's going. More times than I'd like to admit. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let me paint you a picture. And I want you to be honest with yourself about whether this sounds familiar. It's Monday morning. You're locked in, motivated. Sunday, you made a plan. And Monday, you is actually following it. Breakfast sorted. Lunch on it. Dinner controlled. You've hit your steps. You feel good. Tuesday, same. Wednesday, still going by. By Thursday, you're thinking, yeah, this is it. This is the week. And then Friday happens. It's been a long week. You deserve a bit of a wind down. So maybe it's a glass of wine or a couple of beers. Nothing mad. You're not going out. You're just unwinding. Saturday rolls around. There's a meal out or a takeaway. Maybe both. You've been good all week, so you're not going to sit there eating a salad while everyone else is enjoying themselves. That's not living, is it? Sunday, a bit of a lazy one. Little bits here and there throughout the day. A few biscuits with a cup of tea. Bit of leftover what's in the fridge. Now here's where it gets interesting. Monday to Friday, depending on what you ate, you might have actually created a decent deficit. Say 300 to 400 calories under maintenance each day. Over 5 days, that's potentially 1,500 to 2,000 calories in the bank. But that weekend, a meal out can easily be 1,000 to 1,500 calories. A takeaway, same again. Few drinks, 500 to 800 calories without even thinking about it. The Sunday grazing, another few hundred. Add that up, and you've potentially wiped out the entire week's deficit in 2 days. Without even feeling like you went mad. So what's happened across the full 7 days? You're basically at maintenance. And maintenance means no fat loss, not going backwards, not failing, just staying exactly where you are, which is incredibly frustrating when you feel like you've been good. And this is the bit I really want to sit with for a minute, because the emotional side of this is important. When you've tried hard and you haven't seen a result, that hurts. It genuinely does. And it feels like your body's broken, or like this stuff just doesn't work for you, or that you might have some weird metabolism that means that you're different from everyone else. I've had clients say all those things to me, and I always say the same thing back. Your body's not broken. You're not uniquely cursed. You've just been caught in a really common trap, because fat loss doesn't care about effort. I know that sounds brutal, but hear me out. Fat loss responds to outcome, not intention. You don't get results for trying hard. You don't get results for most of your week being good. You get results for being consistent enough across the whole week over a long enough period. Think of it like this. Imagine you're going to fill up a bucket with water. You're filling it up steadily all week, but there's a big hole in the bottom at the weekend and half of it drains out. You've still worked hard, you've still put the water in, but the bucket's not filling up. The fix isn't to pour water in faster during the week, it's to sort the hole at the weekend.
If you're looking for something to complement your training, something low impact, easy to follow and genuinely effective, I want to point you towards House of Tabby on YouTube. It's a free channel packed with follow-along Pilates workouts designed to tone, strengthen and support fat loss. Without hammering your joints, no equipment, no experience needed. Just press play and follow along. Whether you're a complete beginner or you just want something different on your rest days, there's something on there for you. Search House of Tabby on YouTube, completely free, and start your Pilates journey today.
Right, let's get into the stuff that nobody tells you about. Because even when people think they're tracking well, there are hidden calories in places they never seem to look. And I'm not talking about secret midnight feasts here. I'm talking about genuinely innocent things that can add up without you realizing. So the first one is cooking oils. And I see this all the time. Someone's eating grilled chicken and veg, lovely. But then they've glugged olive oil into the pan. 2 tablespoons of olive oil is around 240 calories. That's nearly as many calories as the chicken. It's not bad food, but it adds up. The sauces and condiments like ketchup, mayo, and salad dressing. That nice sauce you put on everything, none of them feel like a meal. All of them are adding extra calories in. Healthy snacks, nuts. I love them. Brilliant food, but an absolute calorie bomb if you're not careful. A small bag of mixed nuts can be 400 calories. The same with protein bars. Some of them are basically a Mars bar wrapped in a gym wrapper. Coffees. If you're having a large oat milk latte every morning, that's around 200 to 250 calories every day. That's nearly 1,500 calories a week on coffee alone. Switch it up to an Americano, you're talking 3 calories. Alcohol. Yep, we've got to go there. A pint of lager is around 180 to 200 calories. A large glass of wine is similar. It's not that alcohol is evil, but it's liquid calories that don't fill you up. And they're easy to rack up without it feeling like you've eaten anything. And typically, when you have a glass, you either have another or you're going to have some food with it as well. And then the big one, mindless eating. You know that thing where you're standing at the kitchen waiting for the kettle to boil and then there isn't a biscuit in the tin anymore and you don't really remember eating it? Yeah, those calories absolutely count. Or picking at food while you're cooking, or finishing the kids' leftovers, or having just a couple of crisps from the bag while watching the TV. None of these feel like eating, but they all add up. And for some people, this stuff alone is the difference between a deficit and maintenance.
If you're serious about getting results, what you eat is just as important as how you train. That's why Ben has put together 3 recipe packs to make clean eating actually feel easy. The High Protein Recipe Pack, 70 recipes designed to keep you full, fuel your muscle and support fat loss. No bland chicken and rice. Real food that actually tastes good. The Smoothie Blueprint, 30 quick high-protein smoothies that take minutes to make. Perfect for busy mornings when you need something fast, filling and on track. And the Air Fryer Fat Loss Cookbook, 40 simple recipes that prove you don't need to suffer to eat well. Crispy, satisfying food without the calories that come with it. All 3 are available now at thefitnessbooth.co.uk/recipe packs.
Quick word on the scales while we're here, because this is where a lot of people absolutely lose their minds. You can have a perfect day, brilliant foods, great workout, loads of water, early night, and you wake up in the next morning and you weigh more than yesterday. And your first thought is, what's the point? I need you to hear this clearly. That is not fat. Fat takes time to accumulate. You cannot gain a pound of actual body fat overnight from eating well. What you're seeing on the scales is water. Your body holds onto water for all sorts of reasons. Sodium levels, stress hormones, muscle repair after exercise. Yep, training makes you retain water temporarily. Hormones, how much sleep you got. Even the weather can play a role. The scale is a snapshot of your total body weight at one moment in time. It includes everything: water, food in your gut, muscle, fat, your actual skeleton. Fat is just one piece of that. So when the scale goes up after a good day, the correct response is, all right, forget it, I'll keep going. The incorrect response, but the one most people do, is to spiral out of control, to think it's not working, to feel defeated, then actually go off track because emotionally you've convinced yourself it's pointless. It's a vicious circle. Don't let the scale trick you into quitting when you're actually doing the right things. So what do you actually do about all of this? And I want to be clear here. The answer is not to be stricter. It's not to cut more calories. It's not to punish yourself with more cardio. That's the instinct, and it's the wrong one. The answer is consistency across the whole week. Not perfection, consistency. The difference between someone who gets results and someone who's stuck in this cycle usually isn't how hard they try Monday to Friday. It's what happens at the weekend. It's whether they can find a version of eating that works for normal life. Meals out, a drink with friends, a lazy Sunday. Without it, completely undoing the week. That means making peace with the fact that you don't need to eat perfectly. You just need to eat consistently enough. It means not having an on mode and an off mode, just a steady, sustainable mode. That's the 1% approach. Not a massive overhaul, just going all in for 2 weeks and burning out. Just small, consistent improvements that compound over time. So if you've been listening to this and think, yeah, that's me, that's exactly what I've been doing, I want you to know 2 things. First, you're not doing it wrong because you're lazy or you don't care. You're doing it wrong because nobody ever explained it to you properly. That ends now. Second, awareness is genuinely the first step. Just knowing what's actually happening is more useful than any diet plan. But if you want help actually moving forward, I've got something that'll help. It's called the free 30-day 1% Kickstart. It's 30 days of small, simple daily actions, things that take minutes, not hours, that help you build this kind of consistency we've been talking about today. No dramatic overhaul, no cutting everything out, just building momentum in a way that actually sticks. You can grab it now through the link in the show notes or go to thefitnessbooth.co.uk/30 days. And if this episode was useful, if it made something click, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because I promise there are people in your life who are stuck in this cycle right now. I'm Ben. This is the 1% Fitness Podcast, and I will see you in the next episode.